What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and some more Blood and Plunder coverage here as we're working our way towards the end of the French lists. So today we're going to take a look at one of the two named ones that we get here, both kind of focusing on Flibustiers. So this one is the Flibustiers Nau list, roughly around the time period 1660 to 1667. And even though it's one of these, it's a little more compact, we don't get that much of the backstory versus some of the others here. There's still a lot of interesting things going on. So, aggressive, as we can see here, with the 4 special rules, +3 when determining an attacker. It's got one of those once per game abilities, so let's check out if it's actually pretty good. So once per game, this forces controlling player may discard all the activation cards in their hand and replace them with the same number of cards without spending a fortune point. So something we've seen pretty often here in some of these forces. Basically a free card reset without spending a fortune. So if timed correctly, pretty good. So just situational, but could be advantageous, especially if you are in a crucial turn and the hand that you draw is just comes up as essentially pretty terrible. So something to think about there, or at least that the cards you currently have are terrible and you do need to reset. And you know that maybe fortune points will be needing to be spent elsewhere. And we get one other one as well. So everybody in the force gains Ruthless, which is pretty cool. So really makes that a neat ability that really can start piling on some damage. But let's take a look at what we get here. A nice little selection of the units. So core, of course, Flibustiers, as you would expect, given the list title, or the force title. We also get Les Enfants Perdus, so good stuff there, and Engagés as the core selections, and some also pretty awesome support units here. Marins, of course, Buccaneers, so more good stuff there, and then some Dutch allies with the Zeelieden and Enterplague as well. So, as you might expect on the command side, Jean-David Nau. So if this is the commander, and you're playing at the army scale, then any French Buccaneer commander must lead non-allied companies in this force, so you have that as well. And then, as you might expect, we have a French force as an allied faction here, but just the Buccaneer list. So, and then to summarize real quick, so regardless of what units we pick, but certainly every unit can benefit from this. Just to touch base again on our last force special rule. So Ruthless, you get a -1 bonus when you're shooting or fighting against units that have more fatigue than you. So obviously situational. So if you got a whole bunch of fatigue piled up on your forces, could be a little bit rough. But if you're timing things right and you maybe sort of focusing on certain units a little bit more as you go for your different activations and things like that, you should be able to start piling the damage on with these bonuses. So, and again, every unit that you take, there's no other like prereqs for that. So, by all means, take advantage of also all the individual unit special rules that you have. That's going to be a little bit more outside the scope of what we're just trying to do with this. But just know, again, everything that has more fatigue than you're going to get that little bonus. So really setting that up and just thinking of that carefully throughout the turns to focus on things where you just get those better advantages, should let you pile on more damage. And if you can keep the pressure up in that sense, either the opponent's going to be spending a whole lot of time trying to counteract that by just rallying a lot and just focusing on getting rid of fatigue, which means they're not shooting you as much or trying to fight you as much, which then just lets you get into better positions and just keep plinking away. So, and obviously becomes very deadly with the compound effects of just a lot of fatigue on them, potentially taking actions away. You're hitting more, which is either causing more casualties or also piling on the fatigue. So this one really, if you play aggressive enough and play smart enough with this, really could be pretty nasty. And then again, depending on how you want to really kit the list out, depending on the size of the game, and what units you choose, you really can fine tune that even more. But we'll save that for a separate video as we take more of a deep dive into individual units of the game and of the armies. But let us know your thoughts on the Flibustiers Nau and how you would incorporate that and how you would focus your list here. Do you think mainly sticking to the core units is enough? What support units would you really want to field, and how do you typically play that? Maybe some of the typical game sizes that are out there. So let us know in the comments, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe. We'll have more for you soon as we get close to the end of the French factions.